All right, say happy birthday, Joel. Look at the kid. Look at.
Happy birthday, Joel. Happy birthday, Joel. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
All right, June 2nd, Joel Friedman's birthday. Joel Friedman, I met when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and we used to go to school together. That was back when there was one bus stop in the neighborhood. Remember that? Now the bus stop's at every house. And I remember a bunch of times where Joel would be running down the street, would be yelling, "Joel, the bus is coming!" And he'd be running down the street. And sometimes, things kids do, the bus wasn't even coming, and we'd yell that anyway, and he'd come running down, and then he'd be pretty pissed off when he finds out we were just joking. But Joel is a great guy. Known him forever, like I said. We were on a baseball team together when I was 11 years old. We were on Knights of Columbus, and one of the first practices we had that season, the coach said to us, "I think you guys have a good chance to win the championship." And Joel and I looked at each other and rolled our eyes and were like, "Yeah, right." And later on that season, we were playing in the championship game. Joel was playing third base, and I was pitching. What I was doing pitching, I have no idea. The only thing I remember is our best pitcher pitched the game before that. So I still, to this day, cannot figure out why I was pitching in that game. But anyway, I pitched probably the worst game I've ever pitched in my life. It was like batting practice. I was just throwing the ball over the plate, and everybody, and all the kids were just hitting like crazy. And back then, you remember, the scores of the games were like 35-32 and stuff like that. So I was pitching so bad that I figured that we were losing. I lost track of the score. I figured we were losing the whole game. And it got to the last inning, and I threw a pitch in the dirt, and the catcher grabbed it, and the runner at third was starting to go in, and he threw it over to Joel at third base. He tagged the kid, and Joel starts running towards the mound. He's like, "We won the championship! We won the championship!" And I'm like mortified. I'm like looking at Joel. I'm like, "Joel, we're losing. What are you doing?" And somebody gave him a Pepsi or a Coke or something. He comes over and he's like pouring it over the top of my head. And I'm like, "Joel, we're losing." And I looked in the stands, and all the parents of the kids on our team were like going crazy. And I was like, "Oh my God, we must have won!" And we ended up winning the championship that year with the team that we had. We had some good hitters. It's a long time ago from what I remember, but I didn't think that we would have any chance with the team that we had. But Joel made the winning tag at third base to win the game there. And Joel was just a great guy. He's like always has a cheerful personality. Like stops over to see me when we lived in the same neighborhood. And my parents, he'd come over and he goes, hey Ed, hey Linda, how you doing? He'd come over to see my parents and stuff. And just a great guy. Joel always had my back. I think during that game when I was pitching so bad, one of the parents was yelling down something at me, and Joel's like, "Hey, shut up, you couldn't do any better." So Joel always had my back. He's just a great guy, and to this day, he's a great father, and it's his birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Joel.